Have you ever wondered what makes Carolina mustard barbecue sauce so special? It's the perfect mix of tangy, sweet, and savory. And today, I'm sharing why it's a go-to in North and South Carolina. So since moving down south, I've seen this sauce everywhere. And honestly, I couldn't be any happier. It's become a personal favorite of mine, and I'm excited to share how it all comes together. And because no barbecue session is complete without ribs, I'll also be showing you how to slather this Carolina mustard sauce right on top of those ribs, taking them to a whole new level of deliciousness. Let's quickly go over what you'll need for both the Carolina mustard sauce and the ribs. For the sauce, you're going to need yellow mustard, honey, apple cider vinegar, brown sugar, ketchup, some Worcestershire sauce, some mixed garlic, and some red pepper flakes. The mustard, the honey, and the vinegar all work together to give the sauce a tangy sweetness, while the spices bring out a savory, smoky, and spicy flavor that makes it perfect for glazing the ribs. Now, let's jump into making the sauce. Start by adding all the ingredients into a bowl. The mustard, the honey, the apple cider vinegar, brown sugar, ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, the minced garlic, and the red pepper flakes. And as you whisk everything together, you'll notice the mustard base really standing out. And the sauce will become a smooth, glossy mixture with that perfect balance of sweet and tangy. If you like a little extra kick, feel free to adjust the spice level with a little bit of cayenne pepper or smoked paprika. For the ribs, you're going to need 2 racks of baby back or spare ribs. You're going to need some smoked paprika, some brown sugar, some chili powder, some cumin, some kosher salt, dry mustard powder, black pepper, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. The smoked paprika, cumin, chili powder, and a touch of cayenne will create a perfectly seasoned, smoky flavor with just the right amount of heat. This rub will give your ribs a flavorful finish that pairs beautifully with that tangy Carolina mustard barbecue sauce. Now that the sauce is all mixed up, you've got a couple of ways to take those flavors to the next level. If you got a little bit of time, you could just toss it in the fridge for a few hours and let the flavors come together. But if you're ready to roll, grab a pan, pour the sauce in, and heat it over medium heat. Let it simmer for about 10 minutes, stirring it every now and then. As it heats, you'll notice that it thickens up a bit, making that perfect consistency for glazing those ribs later on. Just keep an eye on it so it doesn't bubble over, and you'll have a rich, flavorful sauce ready to rock on your ribs. Let's talk about how to prepare the ribs for smoking. Start by removing the membrane from the back of the ribs. This step helps the rub penetrate the meat and lets all those flavors soak in. Now use a paper towel to grip the membrane and peel it off easily. Now that we've already made our dry rub, it's time to apply it to the ribs. Take your rub and generously coat it on both sides of the ribs, pressing it in so it sticks well. You want a nice even layer of seasoning all over the meat. Now let the ribs sit for about 20 to 30 minutes. This gives the rub time to settle in and really get that flavor into the meat before it hits the smoker. Once that you're done, you're ready to start smoking. Smoking the ribs, we're going for low and slow. We're aiming for about 225 degrees to 250 degrees Fahrenheit. And at that temp, the ribs have enough time to soak up all that smoky flavor without drying out. What you're going to want to do is place them bone side down right on top of grates and opposite the heat source. And then you're going to want to let the smoke do its thing. If you're cooking baby back ribs, aim for about 4 hours. Spare ribs, they're going to need closer to 5 hours and maybe even a little bit more depending on the thickness. After a couple hours, wrap your ribs in foil. It helps lock in the moisture, essentially steaming the ribs from the inside, and gets them super tender without the stress of constantly having to check in. If you want to get fancy, drizzle in a little bit of apple juice, honey, maybe some butter, or even some of that mustard sauce before sealing it back up. Wrap them tight and let them smoke for about another hour or so. This really takes the pressure off and makes smoked ribs with Carolina mustard sauce totally doable, even if it's your first time. And if you're new to backyard barbecue and need a hand with cooking times and temperatures, I've got a free guide that covers everything from meats to veggies, and it's perfect for getting started. Just drop a 100 in the comments below and I'll send it your way. Once your ribs are nearly done smoking, it's time to brush on that Carolina mustard sauce. Coat the ribs generously, making sure to cover them evenly. You want the sauce to really stick and start to settle in. After glazing, let the ribs stay on the smoker for about another 10 minutes. This gives the sauce a chance to set. Now that we've smoked the ribs and that glaze has set, it's time to see how they turned out. And look at that, juicy, tender meat with that glaze sticking to it beautifully. Edges have a nice caramelized crust, and the smoke ring is showing you off a bit too. All right, time for that bite. And that's exactly what I was hoping for. Sweet, tangy, smoky with just a right touch of heat. So now you know how to make smoked ribs with a Carolina mustard barbecue sauce. But here's the thing, this isn't the only way to smoke ribs. Check out this video right here where I smoke ribs in the pit barrel cooker, a vertical drum smoker. And it turns out phenomenal ribs every single time. I'll see you there.